Hi there, I'm here with Neil McCobb from Brian McCobb. Yeah, that's my other guy's name. I'm here with Brian McCobb from Dulce Semillita, and we're going to talk a little bit about becoming a real-life superhero. Brian, I wanted to ask how you got it. This 16-year ministry you have now of living in Paraguay and helping kids who don't have homes.
Yeah, we came to Paraguay to work in church with youth and young marrieds, and we got involved in an orphanage, started helping out, working, and really saw the need for kids beyond just having a roof and a safe house, but really to have a family. And so we started Little Neighbors, or Dulce Semillita, to connect the kids with safe, loving families.
What was the first thing that transitioned that? Was there like a particular person or child that really pulled your heartstrings? Or?
Yeah, we became ourselves a foster family to a young lady who really just needed love, and we were able to serve and love her. And she's an adult now. She's got a job and she's working and doing great. She comes over the house just about once a month, and we have dinner and we stay connected. So yeah, she's the one who changed her life.
You can see some of the pride on your face when you mention that, like you care about her a lot. You were telling us a little bit about your mentorship program and how folks will come and try to mentor kids, and then they'll fall in love with them. Even if folks who are mentoring orphans don't immediately fall in love with them, what are some of the benefits of a mentorship program, like Big Brothers Big Sisters in the US, or like what you all are doing here?
Yeah, so it's just providing a space for kids to have a positive experience with a safe adult outside of the context of their orphanage. And so where you're giving them a one-on-one relationship, to where it's not just they're one of 30 kids in an orphanage or one of 15 kids in a room or a house. It's just that this family loving on this kid for 2-3 hours a week or whatever. And it's just providing positive experiences with safe people outside this context to say, hey, the world's safe. It's not just full of dangerous people, but there's some pretty great people in the world.
What are some of the biggest tools, either internally or externally, that you used to get to this point? Because 16 years ago, you didn't have an orphan connection system. You didn't have the social media, the experience that you have. You didn't have these, materials and this building and everything that you have. How do you start? How does somebody start?
I would just start by loving and serving one kid at a time and seeing what you can do to connect one kid with a safe family. We had a lot of great connections with people from organizations like CAFO, the Christian Alliance for Orphans in the United States, some great mentors from England, SFAC, which is Safe Families for Abandoned Children, or Casa Viva, which is a foster care program out of Costa Rica that's been mentoring us and helping us along. So it's not trying to reinvent the wheel, but trying to find people who are doing an awesome job and just kind of suck as much information and energy and expertise out of them as you can.
With many counselors, then there's wisdom. What are some of the biggest challenges and problems that you have to try to avoid? You had mentioned when we were talking earlier the danger of, in the culture, basically slave buying children through orphanages. How does your ministry deal with and fight those kind of problems?
Yeah, so it's an education. A lot of people come with a certain cultural idea of having a child in their home to help with the cleaning, and because that's just what people did, and everybody saw that as a good, healthy thing, and just educating and saying, well, really, that's not what that child needs. Doesn't need to work. Really, as a child, an 8-year-old doesn't need to earn their food. They need to be served and not be the one serving. And so it's through education. It's through just patience and walking with people where they're at, and to that place that you want to get them to where we flip it over and say, this child isn't here to serve me, but I'm here to serve and love on that child.
What are some red flags while you're taking people through your adoption screening or even foster home screening program?
So, yeah, just see some of the words that they're using, the ideas that they have, the conceptions or the things that they've seen. So we have our staff go in, and they'll be in their home for at least 2 visits in their home for a few hours, and we ask lots of really awkward, uncomfortable questions because we don't want to get to know them. And then they come to our training, and so there's a big filter process for that. Then we have even one of our filtration processes is we have an interview with a child who's aged out of an orphanage. Well, it's an adult now. And so he looks at those people and finds out, I have a question, I think you guys should look more into this. And so it's about just filtering out, asking a lot of hard questions, finding out what people's motivation is.
And finally, what is the main message you'd want to give somebody who is just a normal person, doesn't necessarily want to start a ministry, but wants to learn how to be a hero for one orphan?
Okay, and so the Bible verse that changed my life when I think about orphan care was in Psalms, and it says, God's a father to the fatherless, a judge of the widows. And then it says, God sets the lonely in families. So what is it that we're trying to do for the orphan? A lot of times we think about making sure going on an orphanage visit and bringing a child a brand new toy or brand new clothing or whatever, but we look at what does a child need? And really it's identity, it's family, it's belonging. And how can we reach that for one child? And maybe that's by helping a ministry like ours, and that we think obviously that's great because we need financial help. But really one of the big things is that we do is that you don't have to go to Africa or Paraguay to help an orphan, to help a vulnerable child. You can come alongside a single mom, you can come alongside a teen from a youth group or a school, an at-risk family, and just love on that one person that's in your neighborhood, because you don't have to come here to do it. You can do it, and you need to do it where you live.
I love that. Thank you.